Lately, Paquito has become a frequent pick in the MPL, solidifying his spot as one of the highest priority EXP laners in the current competitive drafting phase. What makes him incredibly valuable right now is his recent buff, which allows his shield mechanics to trigger off of creeps and minions. This adjustment gives Paquito an insane amount of extra shielding. Not only does he still possess explosive burst damage, but his durability has also skyrocketed, allowing him to easily sustain and survive throughout intense teamfights. In today's video, we are going to break down this powerful hero completely. We will deeply discuss the hero's skills and passive mechanics, effective combo choices, optimal setups for your builds, including emblems, items, and spells, as well as crucial gameplay and mechanical tips to maximize your performance in the game. If you want to know how to master this hero's full potential and use them to dominate your ranked games, make sure to watch until the very end. So, without further ado, let's dive straight into the breakdown. Let's go. Passive Champ Stance. Every time Paquito casts a skill, he gains a stack. At 3 stacks, he enters Champ Stance, instantly refreshing his cooldowns and enhancing his next skill. Enhanced skills deal extra damage to minions, and after casting one, Paquito gains a massive 60% movement speed boost and damage reduction for 1.2 seconds. This passive is the engine behind all of his outplay potential. Skill 1. Heavy Left Punch. Paquito throws a punch in a target direction, dealing physical damage and granting himself a shield. When enhanced by Champ Stance, both the damage and the shield are drastically increased. And the best part? The normal and enhanced shields can stack on top of each other, making him incredibly tanky during trades. Skill 2. Jab. Paquito dashes forward and throws a heavy jab, dealing solid physical damage. The dash stops immediately if he collides with an enemy hero or creep. When this skill is enhanced by Champ Stance, it deals explosive burst damage and becomes your primary tool for poking and bursting down squishy targets. Ultimate Knockout Strike. Paquito launches an elbow strike that knocks enemies back, followed by a haymaker that slows them by 75% as he darts backward. However, if you use the enhanced Champ Stance version, the haymaker turns into a devastating uppercut that knocks enemies airborne for 0.5 seconds, giving you incredible, instant crowd control. Before we jump into the exact setups, there is one crucial rule you need to keep in mind. Before making any initiation, you should always try to build your passive up to 3 stacks, or at least 2. Doing this allows you to cast your skill 2 twice in a row for maximum burst damage, or cast your skill 1 twice to generate a massive double-layered shield. By maintaining at least 2 stacks before entering a fight, you will be perfectly prepared for any situation. Now that we have that covered, let's break down the best combos. Simple burst combo, 2-stack start. Start by dashing onto your target with a normal skill 2. This instantly fills your passive to 3 stacks and triggers Champ Stance, refreshing your cooldowns. Follow up right away with an enhanced skill 2 for a devastating double jab burst. Next, cast skill 1 to gain a protective shield, and weave in basic attacks for continuous damage. From there, you can reposition naturally, or drop your skill 3 for extra damage and control. Now, if you want to take your burst damage to an even more terrifying level, this next setup follows a similar concept, but hits significantly harder. For this combo, you will need 3 full stacks right from the start, allowing you to cast your core damage skill a whopping 3 times. Open the engagement with your enhanced skill 2, because you started at full stacks. Your skills will instantly refresh. Immediately follow up with a normal skill 2 to double down on the burst damage in a split second. Next, cast skill 1 to get your shield and sustain through any counterattacks. Then drop your skill 3 to push them back and instantly build your passive back up to full stacks. Finally, close out the fight by unleashing a 3rd, devastating enhanced skill 2 to completely wipe out the target. However, I'm only providing these specific setups because they are, without a doubt, the most practical and effective combos to use in a real match. So for the rest of his kit, remember that you can always adjust and use his skills fluidly based on the live situation in your game. Get creative, adapt to the battlefield, and utilize his skill effects as smartly as possible. Next up, let's lock in the perfect setup to maximize Paquito's potential, starting with the emblems. For your core attribute, I highly recommend using the Fighter emblem to give you that necessary balance of physical attack, hybrid defense, and hybrid lifesteal. For your first talent, go with Thrill to get an instant boost to your raw adaptive attack. For the second slot, Festival of Blood to continuously scale up your spell vamp with every kill or assist, boosting your sustain. And the third slot, Quantum Charge to get clutch HP regeneration and a quick burst of movement speed whenever you land a basic attack. However, if you prefer a faster rotation style to pressure other lanes, you can easily swap this out for agility to gain extra movement speed. Now let's move on to the item progression. Paquito relies heavily on early game pressure, so your build order needs to be precise. Right out of the gate, do not buy your boots immediately. Instead, prioritize building Fury Hammer first. This cheap component gives you massive early physical penetration and damage, allowing you to dominate your lane opponent from the very first minute. Once your Fury Hammer is secured, you can finish your boots. I highly recommend Tough Boots as your primary choice to cut down enemy crowd control duration. But you can opt for Warrior Boots if you're up against a heavy physical damage lane opponent. After Boots, upgrade your Fury Hammer into your first core item, Hunter Strike for the flat penetration and the extra movement speed passive. Follow that up with War Axe for sustained true damage and spell vamp, and then grab Queen's Wings for cooldown reduction, extra tankiness, and that life-saving damage reduction passive when your HP drops low. Once these 3 core items are completed, Paquito becomes an absolute monster. From this point onward, your remaining item slots should adapt entirely to the state of the match. If you are heavily dominating the game, build Malefic Gun next to significantly boost your burst damage and extend your attack range. Then follow it up with Oracle to amplify your shields and sustain. If your team is struggling or playing from behind, prioritize building Oracle first to secure your survivability, and then adjust your final item based on the main threat. If you are laning against high regen or heavy lifesteal heroes like Esmeralda, Uranus or Alice, skip War Axe entirely and rush Sea Halberd early on to completely shut down their healing. If you are completely losing the lane and playing from a deficit, I highly suggest transitioning into a full defense build, retaining only 1 damage item, either Hunter Strike or War Axe, so you can safely act as a frontline initiator for your team. To wrap up this setup, let's look at your battle spell options. I recommend 3 choices depending on your playstyle. Flicker primary choice. This is your absolute best option. It provides invaluable mobility for escaping or pulling off unpredictable, game-changing skill 2, plus Flicker surprise initiations. Purify situational option. Bring this spell along if the enemy composition is packed with heavy, inescapable crowd control that threatens to burst you down before you can activate your shields. Vengeance confidence pick. If you are highly confident in your mechanical skills and want to dive aggressively deep into the enemy backline, Vengeance will allow you to absorb and reflect massive damage during chaotic teamfights. First, let's talk about your early game skill priorities. As soon as the match starts, make sure to unlock skill 2 jab first. Since this is your primary damage source and your main mobility tool, you must always prioritize upgrading this skill whenever possible to maximize your early game pressure. For your early laning phase execution, spam your skill 2 while walking out of the base to prep 3 full stacks by the time you reach the EXP lane. Once you arrive, wait for the minion waves to meet, specifically focusing on the siege minion, the cart. Aim your enhanced skill 2 to hit the cart and all the surrounding minions simultaneously. Then immediately follow up with your normal skill 2. Don't rush these casts too frantically. The main goal here is to secure the siege minion and the other 2 minions as fast as possible to instantly hit level 2 and establish lane dominance. Alternatively, you can use this lightning fast clear to proxy cut the minion wave right behind the enemy tower. This gives you the freedom to rotate straight into the enemy jungle to disrupt their farm, or you can rotate to the mid lane to help poke down the enemy mage. Moving on to core mechanics, you can seamlessly combine your skill 2 with Flicker to pull off an unpredictable surprise initiation from bushes or long distances. This massive threat range is exactly why Flicker stands out as your absolute best battle spell choice. Here is a crucial survival tip that many players mess up. If you need to escape a bad fight by dashing backward with your skill 2, never cast it while an enemy hero is sticking directly next to you. Because of Paquito's collision box, your jab will hit the target and stop your dash instantly, even if you are aiming directly away from them. Instead, drop your ultimate skill 3 first to knock the enemy back and create space, and then use your skill 2 to safely dash away. And that wraps up our complete guide for this hero. If this guide helped you out, don't forget to drop a like, and hit that subscribe button with the notification bell turned on, so you never miss another meta hero breakdown. And leave a comment below sharing your thoughts or your personal setups. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck with your rank push up to Mythic and Immortal, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.